B Corps are about using business for good. Be relevant is the new economy. What is a B Corp? B Corp is to business what fair trade certification is to coffee, or USDA organic certification is to milk. To explain that further, B Corps are basically for-profit companies certified by the non-profit B Lab to meet rigorous standards of social and environmental performance, accountability and transparency.
Well, thank you everybody for coming tonight. Picaroons is such a symbol of what the city is turning into. I just love seeing this place as a community gathering space, and I see the fine folks at the Acre over here who had a lot to do with designing it. I'm just so excited for what Saint John is becoming, and this B Corp movement is, oh my gosh, I'd say a year and a half ago it was just Picaroons and then Wicked Ideas, and we were really quickly after that, and now we have, I think, 10 and counting B Corps in New Brunswick. This is really exciting. And Saint John is really becoming a vortex of this concept of triple bottom line. Now, is there anybody here who hasn't heard the concept of triple bottom line? And yeah, thank you. Thank you for putting your hand up. There's probably way more than you. Myself, I didn't know what the heck triple bottom line was until I became a B Corp. So it's this new concept of a very old way of doing business, which is honoring people, planet, while you're making profit. Be relevant. Amanda from Conscious Brands, who is doing an awesome job on the laptop, her and I were talking about what are we going to call tonight. We're thinking of like Be Inspired or like fake TED Talks or something. And then we landed on Be Relevant because as we talk about entering into what we understand as this new economy, how do we stay relevant? Like, forget about doing the right thing. How do we actually stay relevant so the market is going to continue to support our businesses? So this concept of relevancy in a rapidly changing environment is so critical. And when I see what B Corp is doing around the world in helping companies be relevant, I just want to say how excited I am to be part of this movement. Now, I literally did put this presentation together a couple hours ago. I don't know what the next slide is, but Amanda, can you press? And we don't have a clicker here. Okay, the pirates of the triple bottom line. Can anybody see this? Okay, this is a young Greg Hemmings with dirty, salt-ridden dreadlocks. This is the Worm Man. His name is the Worm Man. His real name, his birth name, his Christian name is Jamie Fougier, known as the Worm Man. Captain Paul and Charlene. These people, many years ago, I think it was 2001. My mom, can you tell me what year that was? 2000, the turn of the millennia. I was at the tidal pool in St. Andrews seeing Hot Toddy play. And I was up doing my thing, dancing around like a goof, and this lovely lady, Charlene, I think she was in her early 60s at the time, draft dodging type of lovely, like St. Andrews, Charlotte County gal. She came up to me and said, "Hey, you want a drink?" And she pulled out a flask and it was full of Jaeger. And I was like, "Heck yeah, that's my drink." So instead of going out back to what other people do is go smoke a joint behind a bar while Hot Toddy's playing, I had a little sip of Jaeger. 2 or 3 Jaegers later, she tells me that her old man, Captain Paul, is a Dutch captain who has literally lived on his 120-foot gaff rig schooner for the last 35 years, and he's probably slept off of his boat no more than 7 or 8 times. Like, this guy lives on his boat. And he's a captain in the Caribbean, and he travels goods by wind all through the Caribbean. And I said, I used to sail at the RKYC when I was younger. And I'd love to do something like that. Thought nothing of it. She said, well, you should do it. I said, yeah, that's a great idea. 2 weeks later, I go back to St. Andrews, and she's there again. And she comes over and goes, Greg, I got the money. I got money to get you a ticket to get to the Caribbean. And I was like, I don't even remember what you're talking about. Jägermeister. And she literally said, I honestly, Captain Paul has 0 crew right now, and he needs somebody. Can you get a passport tomorrow? This is previous to 9/11. Get up to Fredericton as quick as I can. I get a passport. God bless my mom and my dad for letting me go. And I got onto an airplane, I thought I might be moving drugs or guns, everything that B Corp isn't in favor of. I had no idea, but the spirit of adventure said yes. So I get, why don't you press the next slide, Amanda? Oh yeah, these slides are triple bottom line. People, planet, and profit. That's just for a cheap laugh. Retirement coming. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, and this is just a little bit of footage that I recently captured. It was on this particular adventure for many months in the Caribbean that I realized that I really love telling stories with video. And you can press the space bar, Amanda, and there's just some really funny old DV footage here. So I come down into the Caribbean. This guy picks me up. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. Like literally, I really didn't know what we were going to be doing. This is my boat. It's called the Aventure. I learned how to sail large boats, and it was myself, another guy, and Captain Paul. We smiled a lot. We played the harmonica a lot. We cooked and did other things that you typically would do when you're at sea for many, many weeks. Just look at the beauty of this sail. It's fantastic. We delivered cargo all through the Caribbean for a long time, taking cargo to islands that typically don't get goods sent to them on time. So, because the big container ships can only get to certain places, we were a boutique agency that brought everything from trucks, like refrigerators, food, anything, with our little cargo hold. And then he said, we're gonna do the big load. We're going to Suriname in South America. And we're gonna go into the rainforest with some trucks, and we're gonna pull out some wood. And I was like, isn't that not a good thing? You know, back then I'm like, yeah, the rainforest, we can't be chopping that thing down. Isn't that, yeah. So, but you know, I was like, I did have a little bit of interesting feelings about this, but I didn't really quite understand. So we did it. We went in and we ended up connecting with a, I don't know if we call it Aboriginal, but a native forestry community in Suriname. A beautiful, beautiful country, and they selectively cut wood for the boat building industry up in Martha's Vineyard. So if the bowsprit of a boat went like this, and Andrew is nodding his head because this is a boatman over here, we would find, or the loggers would find that tree with the right angle. So we're talking big, big bucks, very custom, and we would sail that wood up to Martha's Vineyard, right? Very niche, expensive product. And this is just a couple little shots that I got through that adventure. And when we sailed back, I realized, you know, sure, we went into the rainforest, and sure, we pulled wood out. And back in those days, you know, just even saying that, it would you wouldn't think I'd ever be qualifying for a B Corp. But then Captain Paul really explained it really well to me about what this concept of triple bottom line is. He goes, number one, we travel goods all over the Caribbean and South America without any fossil fuels, completely run by the wind. So that's the planet part. Now, it wasn't called triple bottom line, this was just Paul's business philosophy. The people part is he was getting really important goods to places that typically can't get them. And he was also employing people that typically wouldn't be employed. So that was the people part. And because he found this niche that nobody else in the world was doing, and he was competing. He became a real pain in the ass to the big cargo companies because he was actually undercutting them because they could, because he's, you know, very low. It was just myself and Jamie, and he paid me in 1 6-pack of Carib beer a week and about $20. Honestly, that was it. So his overheads were very low, so he was very profitable in what he did. And once I became a B Corp and I started looking back, I was like, how did I get to this place where I really care about building a business that's not just building value on the bottom line for profit, but also building value in our community and the world? I can immediately connect the dots back to Captain Paul and being a pirate during those early days. So many people in this room have very similar stories. They're doing great things in business in Saint John New Brunswick. And I challenge you to think about what was it in your early ages or of being an entrepreneur, or even as being a child, that really ignited that passion and that heart for turning whatever it is that we're passionate about into added value for the rest of the planet. And tell that story. I think it's so critical, especially for the B Corps in the room and the other businesses that are adding value to the world. Tell your story. I'm a storyteller, and part of that is really encouraging everybody around me to share their important stories. And that is how I am part of the Triple Bottom Line. I just have a little less hair and a bigger beer gut. And that's it for me. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around.